Welcome to Fake It Till You Make It, the podcast where my guests have no idea what they're talking about. My name is Dan, and I am your host. Today, we have a frequent open mic podcast guest, Lucy. She's here
Hey,
on Fake
again.
It Till You Make It. Hello. She's here on Fake It Till You Make It for her second time. Last time, she was a lawyer. This time, she's getting another shot. So, here's a fun fact about Lucy. She's not a Michelin star chef, but for the purposes of this episode, she is. Hello, Lucy. How's it going?
Oh, hi. It's going great, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let's get right into it. Um, so first of all, how does it feel being like a really professional chef? You own your own restaurant and you've got a Michelin star. Like, how do you feel? How does that feel? What does that achievement feel like to you?
It feels amazing to be honest. Going through school, knowing I wanted to study cooking, it was really important to me that I'd be successful because, everyone can cook pretty much, but
Hmm.
not everyone can cook well. And I'm pleased to be able to say that I'm officially acclaimed of being able to cook well. So it feels pretty validating knowing that I spent so many years preparing for the time that I'm now in.
Cool. Speaking of all this preparation and stuff, where did you go to culinary school?
Oxford University in the
Oxford
UK.
University. They have a
Yeah.
culinary degree there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the top ones in the UK. Of course
Hmm.
they do.
Okay. Um, how was it tough going through culinary school?
Yeah, I mean it was pretty tough. Gordon Ramsay himself did this exact course that I've done.
Hmm.
So obviously, it's tough, but you end up being a very good cook coming out of it.
Okay. What
So
course was
it's
that? You
well
said
worth it.
you
The
said Gordon
culinary
Ramsay.
course?
What course?
The culinary course that I
Just
did.
you did one course.
Yes.
You didn't like spend
It was a
years getting a
four-year
culinary.
program. It was a
Oh,
four-year program.
okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
You've
Yeah.
never seen this before. You have
Mhm.
no idea what you're talking about.
Well, what was the hardest part of culinary school?
Hard to say, to be honest. At points, we had to try and come up with our own dishes, and that was quite difficult because there was a lot of pressure. Because a lot of the good things are already out there. So it was very difficult to try and come up with something unique to present
Mhm.
to the professors. Um, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So how would you describe your overall cooking philosophy?
If it's not good, throw it out the window.
Mm. Do you care to
I do not
elaborate?
serve food that's not good. Yeah, I do not serve food that's not good.
Okay.
If the food is not to a standard, then I will throw it away, out the window specifically, or at somebody's head.
Mm.
It is it's very important to me to make sure that the food I serve is as quality as I promise it will be, because
Hmm.
that's how you earn trust with your customers.
Hmm. All right. Well, for all this training, tell us about the chefs that you took inspiration from.
Obviously, Gordon Ramsay is a big inspiration of mine. He's the OG British chef. He's got his own TV show, Hell's Kitchen. He's very successful. He's got multiple Michelin star restaurants. So obviously him. I try and have a nicer attitude than him.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. All
yeah.
right.
And then there's also Grosjean Roman, who is a
Hmm.
very esteemed cook.
Okay.
Um, he cooks for his family. He is he's French. You've probably not heard of him.
Hmm.
The viewers probably haven't heard of him either,
Hmm.
but he's a very good chef as well.
Interesting. All right. Um. So, what's your experience with making menus?
Um, Generally, making menus is one of my favorite parts of being a chef. I do love coming up with dishes like out of ones that are already there. So, I always think of what my favorites are, and then I just know my customers would love to eat that as well. So I put all my favorites on the menu, always the stuff that goes down well with the customers as well. and I love to come up with fancy names for my food.
Hmm.
I always have a theme. My restaurant has a racing theme. Because we have speedy service
Mm-hmm.
and food that will make you feel like you could win a race.
Interesting.
So we like to have fun dish names like the chicane souffle,
Mm.
things like that. The
Yeah.
apex appetizers.
Okay. Cool. So as you mentioned, you have a Michelin star restaurant, as we discussed
Yeah.
earlier. What is it called?
Fast food.
This fast food?
Yeah, but not to be confused with fast food.
Mm.
It's like fast food,
Hmm.
like food that comes fast.
It's fast food, but it's not fast food.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
What foods do you serve at this fast food, not fast food restaurant?
Okay. All sorts of food. We have gourmet burgers, pasta, but like a fancy pasta dish.
Mm.
Focaccia,
What is that?
garlic bread. It's a type of like cheese.
Okay.
Um, and then we also have desserts. We have brownies, truffles, you know, ice cream dishes as well. It's
Okay.
some gelato. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to clarify based on my branding. The point is that we're very different to fast food
Hmm.
restaurants.
So you're fast food, but not. Yeah, you're fast food, but not fast food,
Yes.
right? Yes.
There we go. You get it.
Yeah,
You
you're
get it.
fast food, but you're not fast food.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, um, when and how did you get your Michelin star?
So a really, really prominent food critic came in.
Hmm.
Um, he was actually with a group, and
What
they were
food critic
all
was it? Who?
Anton Ego.
Anton Ego?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was actually with a group of his employees, which I didn't know about. I recognized him obviously, but I didn't recognize his employees. They basically booked out the entire restaurant individually, so every single customer in there was one of his staff.
Hmm.
So when food critics come in, a lot of mediocre kitchens and aim to feed the critic over anything else, but we value all our customers equally. So every single person was fed just as well as we would feed a food critic. They were all brilliant. They fed back to Anton, their boss, and obviously we got a glowing review. So that's how we earned the Michelin star. I
Hmm.
was very proud of myself
Yeah.
and my team.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
So, um, so yeah, now I just want all the details. We've kind of covered some of it, but I want to hear your story. How did you get from culinary school to owning your Michelin star restaurant, which is fast food but not fast food?
Well, obviously, coming out of university with a degree, obviously I knew what I wanted to do. So it was really just a case of starting small. I'm sure you've seen The Princess and the Frog, the Disney movie. It was kind of like that. Worked from the bottom, made it to the top. I bought this nice venue in central London, made it nice and themed. Lots of F1 fans in the UK. So I just worked from there. My food quality was so good, everyone was recommending it to their friends. Word of mouth is very important in this business. People just kept on coming back for more. We were able to grow and grow. And now here we are today.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, let's see. What is your favorite dish to cook?
Ooh,
It
that's a
doesn't have to be something
tricky
from your
one.
restaurant. Just what is your favorite dish to
No, I
cook?
would say it is actually something from my restaurant. It's gonna be the burger,
Okay. The fast
which we
food
have
burger?
the turbo burger,
Mm,
which is it's a beautiful brioche bun
okay.
with it's vegetarian as well because I'm vegetarian. We've got vegetarian filling, so we've got a big slab of halloumi with lettuce, tomato, bit of onion, and of course a lovely garnish of mayo and ketchup. And then we serve that with a little bit of rice on the side
Hmm.
and some dips
Cool.
and a few wedges.
Yeah. So just question, how do you go about making the brioche buns?
We use pretty much whatever bread recipe you're familiar with. So,
And what is that?
wheat, flour, um, yeast. We let it rise in the oven, and then
Okay.
we put a nice finish to it to make it that nice fluffy shape
What makes it brioche?
because it's French.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so on the other end of things, what is your least favorite dish to cook?
Anything basic.
Okay.
Probably toast
Toast?
in the morning.
Hmm.
Every meal is a dish, right? When you're a
Sure.
chef.
Yeah.
So when I wake up in the morning and I want toast, I hate it because it's just boring. You just put the bread in the toaster
Hmm.
and then up it pops, and then you just spread your stuff on it, and then you're done. It's really not very good
Okay. So,
compared to what magnificent things I'm producing in my kitchen.
fair enough. Yeah. So you said toast is your least favorite dish to cook. What's the most challenging dish you've ever cooked?
Ugh. I would probably have to say risotto.
Okay. Can you explain in detail what that is?
It's got rice in it and it's got like mashed potato.
Okay. And
There's
how do you
bits of
cook it?
like apple slices. You
Hmm.
cook it in the oven.
Okay.
Um, and you squirt bits of orange onto it. Shave a little bit of chocolate over the top. And a little bit of macaroni in there as well.
Interesting. What's
Yeah.
the most challenging part of it?
Probably making the macaroni,
Okay.
which requires we make the mixture using again flour, eggs, wheat, and so on, and then we put it in this. We flatten it out, and then we put it in this like twirly thing, and it twirls it out. Then we have to chop it.
Hmm.
We make all the bits. So yeah,
All right. Well, thanks for answering all those questions. Now, for fun, we're gonna do some just cooking trivia. As
sure,
just so you can like help the audience here.
of course,
So for
of
the
course,
audience, answer along as we go. But Lucy, you can give your answer as soon as you know it.
of
So
course.
what do julienne cuts look like?
Um, diagonal. Um, with a slight edge to them, almost like the state of Idaho. If you imagine that in your brain, that's what it looks like.
So julienne cuts look like the state of Idaho. You've heard it
Yes,
from Lucy.
of course.
All right,
But
let's
you could
keep
also
going.
hear it from any good textbook out
Hmm.
there. Yeah.
So I have trouble pronouncing this, but bouillabaisse is a French term for which type of stew?
Could you write that down?
Bouillabaisse.
I'm gonna say beef
Okay.
stew.
And
Like,
why?
because it is. That's the
Sure,
translation
sure.
of French. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. When you cook pasta al dente, what
Yes.
should the texture be?
It should be nice and soft and almost a little bit fluffy, but not that fluffy.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Foods that are poached are cooked with what?
Egg.
Egg? You mean
Yeah.
like a poached egg?
Yeah.
Okay. Foods that are poached are cooked with eggs. Yeah. What is the name of the person who makes sauces in a professional kitchen?
The saucier. Saucier.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. Why are you acting surprised?
I'm not. I'm not.
I'm a chef. I'm a chef.
All right. So I know you're vegetarian, chef, but maybe this is something you might have learned. How should you cook steak tartare?
Um, well done. Medium
Mm,
rare.
fair enough. Yeah. Um, we'll do a few more yet. Um, what whipping egg whites will result in what? What happens when
Could
you
you
whip
repeat
egg
that?
whites?
So whip egg
Whip,
whites.
like when you're whipping them.
It
What does that
will
end
it
up?
will become a curd.
A curd? Okay,
Yeah.
sure. And then like one more question, I think.
Sure.
Let's see. How about what do you call it when you coat a food in flour and breadcrumbs before frying?
Breadcrumb.
What?
I do know this. I do
Okay.
know.
Well, what is that process
Breading.
called? Breading?
Breading.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, thanks so much for answering these questions.
Yeah.
Um, you made it. You
I
can,
did.
yeah, good job.
Please tell me the answers to those questions.
Um,
What was the French one?
the French one was when you said beef, that was the options were chicken, pork, and fish.
Ah.
So,
How do you spell
um,
it? Like actually.
I spelled it exactly like I said.
Yeah, but I didn't write it down while you were
Oh,
spelling
I
it.
don't have it up anymore.
Ah, okay.
Um, when you poach something, something that I didn't even know. So like, I'm not a chef,
Yeah,
but
it's
like
not eggs when you poach something. I figured
when
that
you
one
poach
out.
something, it's just cooking it in water, according to this quiz
Ah.
website. But yeah, how do you think you did?
I didn't do as bad as I did on the lawyer one.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say. I at
fair
least
enough.
sounded convincing at some point. I need to talk about the famous chef Grosjean Roman.
Go
Jean
for it.
Roman. I was honestly, I was like, wait, I'm gonna have to name another chef now. So I just took Roman Grosjean from
Hmm.
Formula One,
Yep.
flipped his name around, and acted like he was a chef.
Yeah.
And then the name of the critic that
Hmm.
I made up,
Yep.
Anton Ego.
Uh-huh.
That's the guy from Ratatouille, the food
Oh,
critic
I
from
didn't know that.
Were you impressed with my normal sounding name or what?
It didn't sound fully normal, but I was impressed that you came up with something. Yeah. Um.
Yeah, he's the food critic from Ratatouille. I
Hmm.
figured, right, I'm just gonna say something and I'm gonna make it convincing. Oh my gosh, we need to watch Ratatouille now. That's literally, I was running on Ratatouille, Overcooked, and Vibes. Like that was literally my.
Yeah.
Oh, and a bit of Hell's Kitchen in there.
All right. Well, thanks for doing that. Anything else you want to add to the
Um, no.
episode? No? All right.
I
Sounds
can't
good.
be trusted in a kitchen, basically.
Anyways, thanks for listening to Fake It Till You Make It. Fake It Till You Make It is owned and produced by Open Mic Podcasts. If you like this episode and want to see more, or if you like Fake It Till You Make It and want to see what else we have to offer, subscribe to Open Mic Podcast on YouTube and follow Open Mic Podcast on Spotify and Instagram. Come back 2 weeks from now for the next episode of Fake It Till You Make It, but come back Wednesday for the next episode of the Totally Serious Debate, the show where we debate totally absurd topics. Thank you.